I'm here to infuse additional
boosting
energy.
What are you doing? You're making a mess.
I'm raising the microphone so I don't have to lean over. So
your mic is going to make mic farting noises now. You're going to have to test this shit. Steve is introducing
I know, I'm going to have
farting.
to because it
Why do
might
you have to
be
test
fun.
it?
Because after you,
I'm done.
Could you make sure it's plugged in?
Squeeze it
It
in.
seems to be
All right.
fully.
That doesn't mean anything. You might be also introducing farts into the system.
That's my normal role.
Oh shit! I can already tell it's a big ass mushroom swish. Games, video 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 games.
Spoiler alert. It's December 23rd, 2008.
And this is Idle Thumbs 11. And I'm Chris Remo.
I'm Nick Brecken.
I'm Jake Rodkin.
And for the third time, we are joined by Steve Hot Scoops Gaynor.
Don't call him Hot Scoops.
Well, I just did.
Oh,
What do you think about that, Scoops?
They call you Scoops.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Scoops.
Hey,
Ooh,
Scoops.
It just keeps going.
I'll stop calling you Scoops.
I won't. Maybe I will. So how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about you guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are things up at 2K Marin?
Making a video game.
Yeah? Scooping one out? No?
I wouldn't characterize it that way personally.
Okay, fair enough. I guess that's not what you're doing.
Not precisely, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're recording this thing a few days ago. We're
Bring you
gonna
a
be-
message from the past.
Yeah, we're going to be out of town or not recording next week, so we decided to record this one a little earlier so we wouldn't have 2 weeks missing. So yeah.
So this is a filler
So
episode,
this
is what you're saying.
we hopefully will have enough new stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I'm here. It makes
Yeah,
it
that's
special.
Steve's here. It makes it
Oh.
extra special.
Oh, I'll make it a lot different than the last one you
Yeah.
recorded because different person.
Exactly.
That's true.
See, that's the
good.
mind of
Man,
a game designer.
listen
It
to
works.
this. It's already
It's
different.
like game design.
Yep.
I heard you were
Pod
playing.
signing. I just wanted to keep that one going. No?
I thought that was good.
I see on your Twitter because
Decasting.
we use that for some reason.
Twitter.
You were playing Persona 4.
Oh, that's true.
What do you think of it?
I liked Persona 3 a lot, and so far I like this one a lot less.
Oh,
Which I didn't really expect because I only bought it because I mostly heard everybody saying people who had played Persona 3 liked it better. But yeah, I mean, it kind of takes the whole spin-up time of a RPG where you're kind of not really playing the game yet to the extreme, where I've spent 2.5 hours spread over 2 play sessions doing nothing but advancing text with the X button.
is that literal?
Yes.
That's actually true?
Yes.
If I loaded that in right now, could I just sit there and press X and I would get to the point where you are in 2 hours?
I guess it's not literal because at some point I had to make my character walk across a room to hit X on the door to exit.
Good lord.
That's
pretty brutal.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just way more kind of like metaphysical, and the main thing that bothers me about it is that they try to convey the idea that, you know, you go to this little like small town, it's not Tokyo anymore, and there's a weird world like inside the television that's somehow connected to these murders that are going on in the real world, and there's like this really complex supernatural system of like, oh, someone's pulling people into the TV, and if they can't face their shadow self in this alternate dimension, they get killed in the real world. So we have to figure out who's...
It's like that movie with the video games.
Oh,
If we die in a game, we die for real.
Existenz? Was that it?
No, it was a really recent movie.
That wasn't it?
Existenz is like 5 years old.
Oh.
This movie came out like this
No,
year.
didn't it have like a bloody controller or something on a poster?
A bloody controller. Maybe it did. I don't remember.
Shut the fuck up.
So yeah. Long story short is it's really, really, really fucking awkward because there's just hours of text of your friend, like them trying to convey that he's like figuring out how this thing works.
Steve
Like,
just did air quotes.
I did because
you
he's
might
like
have heard rattling sounds.
that was the sounds of my finger bones rattling.
Yeah, those are connected to the hand bone. Can you confirm or deny?
It's true.
Oh, cool.
I'm a doctor. And so anyway, it's a lamer premise and worse written, and you sit on your ass pressing X for twice as long before it gets off the ground.
Have you gotten to the game part yet?
I can now walk around to different shops.
Sweet.
If that counts as the game. I think I still have time before I actually get to play like the real game, like another half hour of
Jesus.
But then you'll have
like,
earned
tutorial.
it, and it'll feel that much sweeter.
Yeah, no. I don't know, just their stupid metaphysical, like trying to understand our weird internal logic.
Maybe
and
you just
have
don't.
people
Maybe you
explain
just
it to you.
can't grasp
is-
what they're going for. Maybe it's
It may be
above
going
you.
over my head, or it may be
You just can't appreciate it.
really poorly written, self-indulgent anime crap. It doesn't encourage
What?
me to keep playing it.
Someone's being burned in the world.
It's you.
Yeah.
That's true. I love indulgent anime crap.
I know. I can see your T-shirt. It's got Neon Genesis Evangelion on it.
Yeah, he wears that every time.
Yeah, it's true.
So anyway,
The flannel version of Neon Genesis.
I like Persona 3 more for the other stuff that wasn't the main supernatural stuff, like just the normal kind of like, making friends at school, kind of weird, like mundane stuff, and I haven't even gotten to that part yet. If you can do that, a lot of that, I may probably start liking it more and X through all of the stupid ghost story stuff.
What I heard about Persona 4 was that there was just like a lot of combat where, like a lot of grinding. Because I guess you're not that far.
Like ghost grinding.
Is that the case in Persona 3? Like, is that like a serious thing? Where
You grind a sweet ghost.
Yeah, you do a trick combo on a ghost.
You grind the ghost.
Off of a ghost onto a poltergeist, do an ollie onto the fucking
car.
boogeyman.
Nothing but
ghost
net.
riding a ghost.
Yeah.
Put a ghost in your ghost.
That's the thing, is that I did like Persona 3 and I got like 50 hours into it, and I thought it was balanced well enough that you really didn't have to grind kind of
The ghost.
until the point that I got to, and then there was a big difficulty spike, and I would have had to grind for a long time to continue playing the game, and I didn't want to, so I didn't. So I didn't finish that game. Pick this one up anyway. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm over the hump now. Maybe I'm on top of the hump, and I'm about to get over it, and I just don't know it.
You're gonna go rolling down the
kind of.
hump,
It's just
possibly
bad
while
because
grinding a ghost.
it's bad because I saved and put the PS2 away right at a point where I have no desire to continue the experience
man.
that I've been having for the last 2.5 hours.
There was kind of a reader who wrote in about that. Yeah.
I just get to that point where I'm like, all right, I have to do a lot of stuff that's going to be boring to get into, and I just quit.
That happened to me with the very end, I think, of Final Fantasy VI of all games. Like, got to the last boss, and I wasn't strong enough, and I'm like, I could walk around, I guess, and level my guys up and beat the last boss, or I basically am done with this game, so I guess I'm done. That
What
stuff.
a wimp.
I'm a wimp. What can I say?
What if you were a real gamer?
Well,
Called you out.
yeah, I just got burned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily too bad. It might turn into something good.
Yeah. Well, you can come back and give us the hot scoops once you've
That was the sound of a hot scoop being delivered.
That was the sound of a searing knife of catchphrase repetition going through my heart
yeah.
for the fucking 800th time.
Glad to help.
I love the feeling.
Hot scoops.
Nick is the only innocent here.
Hot scoops.
No one gets that.
It doesn't sound different when it goes through his microphone.
Jake just tried to talk into the next microphone. He probably just sounded quieter. So sweet. So Jake, what have you been doing in the last couple days? You look really excited.
Bad news.
I have been awake.
For how long?
I think I'm past 36.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
What have you been doing for that many hours?
I was working.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. What were you hoping to get out of that?
I don't know. Amusing tale. A yarn.
I'll spin you a yarn. I'll spin
All
you
right.
a fucking yarn.
Sweet.
We got
Nick,
Surly
you?
Jake
Anything?
this week.
I like we're going around. Do you have anything? Anybody got anything?
Huh?
Orange
I don't
whip?
Orange whip?
No.
No? No one has any
What
orange
the hell
whips.
does orange whip mean?
Don't
Have
worry
you never
about
seen
it.
the Blues Brothers?
Oh, and I haven't watched it all the way through, actually.
Oh man, a guy gets an orange whip in that, and then he gets 3 in total.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers! 3 orange whips.
Have you guys played Minotaur China Shop?
Yes.
Oh, really? I haven't.
It's
Sorry.
pretty awesome. It's the new game from, what
Yeah.
are they called? Flashbang Studios?
Flashbang.
Yeah. These are the guys who made...
They have a new site called Blurst.
Oh, is that theirs?
It's relatively new.
Blurst.
Yeah, these are the guys who made Jetpack Brontosaurus
Yeah.
and Raptor Safari.
Velociraptor off-road safari.
Nice.
My bad.
Jesus
Off-road
Christ.
Velociraptor Safari.
Fuck!
Oh.
Steve, you
man.
gotta correct Nick?
No, I think he was correct already. He's a video game journalist by trade.
Right. So,
Yeah.
He's
You know
good at
what the problem with video game
fact-finding
journalism is?
missions.
Anyway. Yeah, so I've been playing Minotaur China Shop, and it's pretty awesome. I think it's probably my favorite thing from these guys yet. Like the
Yes,
other ones were sort of hilarious in concept. This one I find is actually genuinely awesome
You
in a
can
lot of
play
ways. Yeah, it's like an actual game. It's really impressive. Jake, you're actually saying, because I wasn't familiar with this, but you were saying those guys like started doing that stuff just to goof around, and then
Oh, there was a one of the Flashbang guys posted in the thread in the Minotaur China Shop thread on Something Awful, saying that I guess they started that stuff just sort of as tech demos or sort of screwing around with ideas, and then ostensibly because they were going to make a real game at some point, and then we're like, well, maybe this is actually better than that. So they started that Blur site, and they're hoping to sort of use that as a sort of venue to make money off of making weird shit like Minotaur China Shop, which is awesome.
What are the mechanics of Minotaur?
You're a Minotaur who's
you operate
you operate a China shop.
own and
you
operate a
operate
China
Yeah,
shop.
it's his lifelong dream is to run a China shop. So customers come in and ask for a particular item in the shop, and your guy sort of has this weird dancy, clumsy walk around.
It's like have you guys played QWOP? QWOP.
Whoa,
No.
It's this crazy.
Oh wait, yeah. Where you have to try to run more than 2 inches.
It's a 2D flash game with a guy, and with the Q, W, O, and P keys, you control like his left and right thigh.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
that thing.
leg. I don't know, whatever
Left
this.
and right, calf.
Calf and thigh, yeah, and
This
it
guy
basically
kinda walks like that guy.
It makes it impossible to fucking control this guy. It's basically a physics experiment game, and it's you more play it because it's hilarious than because it's actually fun. Just to watch this guy like sort of fold in on himself as you try to make him walk. Minotaur China Shop is tried kind of like that in that you can tell it's doing some kind of like crazy physics based procedural thing with his skeleton and sort of the animation there, except it actually works, and it's both hilarious and also actually fun to play.
Right.
Is it like Grand Theft Auto 4 drunk walking?
You know what? It is kind of like that, actually. It's a little bit like that. It's not obviously as insane as that, or you couldn't play it, but yeah.
Well, the great thing about it was, like, when I first started playing it, the object is pretty clear. You're supposed to, grab the plates.
Yeah.
And bring them back to the customers. But I didn't realize, like, I guess I had seen, like, a video of him getting mad, and I didn't really understand. Like, I guess I didn't read the instructions or something, but, like, maybe, like, 30 minutes after I was playing this game, like, I got... Because if you knock over enough China,
insurance kicks in.
Yeah, the insurance kicks in, and your Minotaur just goes insane and like sets on fire and starts smashing things. But, I didn't realize that was like that's how that happened.
If you sort of fuck up the deliveries enough, you can sort of just kind of say fuck it and switch over into insurance rage mode, where you just have to smash the store before you're murdered by like security that the customer
just come and like shoot bow arrows at you.
Yeah,
and like a whole other game. It's like you can choose. Yeah.
It's every time, every level you can. I mean, you could even do both in the same level. I mean, you can serve a bunch of people, and then if you get tired of it, you can just start fucking breaking everything. But the thing that I find so amazing about this game is that they really, really, really succeed in taking the sort of weird subversion of kind of the bull in a china shop metaphor. And, in this, like, what if there actually was a Minotaur runs a china shop? That would be funny. Yeah. Like, they actually really genuinely turn it into an amazingly effective, I think, sort of physical simulation of what if you were a fucking Minotaur and you actually ran a china shop? Like, how fucked up and impossible would that be? Like, you play this game and the whole time you feel like your guy is just like busting out of his fucking limbs at every joint. Right. Like, it's a really impressive, it's kind of like if you've seen Men in Black, which one was the bug guy who occupies the human body, and everywhere he moves, he's just like wrestling with himself to take another step and like contain his enormous frame inside this little human body. Yeah. That's what it's like when you play Minotaur China Shop, and it's so it's so fucking crazy and extreme.
Well, but it really conveys like the sensation of being unwieldy.
Yeah,
basically, like
of
through the
being,
controls
and he just feels like he's just all this muscle packed. Also, he's got stubby legs. Because it's a fucking bull walking upright, and so he's got these like.
It's great when you just sort of accidentally hit the edge of a table and stuff bounces around. It's like, oh, fuck.
Fuck. Exactly.
Okay, careful, back it up, back it up.
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
that sounds really fun.
It spins out of control so fast, too. Like, you hit the edge and you just, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing they do really.
The game also has special moves that you can buy with your monies.
Yeah.
So in addition to running a shop.
Like what kind of moves? Are they destroying
spin
Smash
attack,
things.
table upending, dash, various like punching.
And when you
Well,
do
all the special
revert,
moves are for destroying.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
for destroying,
yeah.
which was really confusing me when I
some of
first started the game. It's like, welcome to Minotaur China Shop. You can buy this
yeah,
charge into the table move.
Like,
Anyway,
why would
give
you want that?
customers
Yeah.
what they want. What the heck? This is the best.
and when your guy triggers that rage mode, like that's another just incredibly effective thing where it feels like such an amazing release because you play this game, you spend, I don't know, 5 minutes, however long you spend, trying to be so careful, trying to avoid everything. As soon as you make a mistake and you try to fix it, you end up fucking it up more and you end up knocking over the whole table and you're just like, God damn it. And then your actual character has the same reaction and just starts going apeshit. It's a really amazing recreation
That sounds
of
pretty awesome.
kind of all of those sensations you go through when you're trying to play a game that requires a lot of delicacy, and it really like sort of enables you to actually act on that in a way that fits the mechanics.
No,
It's extremely cool.
There's a funny dovetail with that.
I like doves.
What do you think about their tails?
Oh, they're pretty cool.
All right, I'm going to use a seg here. Check it. Speaking of that sensation of like trying to delicately, wrangle a situation to pull it off smoothly and then fucking it up and going, whoa. A coworker and I have been playing through the campaign of Hitman Blood Money at work this week just because we're both big fans of the game and we both just wanted to play through it again, so we figured we'd do it on the Xbox. And that's basically what that whole fucking game is about. Because you act all sneaky and you creep up, you get your costume on and go into the restricted territory and you sneak up on your target who's kind of unawares, and you pull out your pistol and your signal's pistol and you go, boom, and it just whizzes right past his head. He's like, shit, boom, 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 boom. And you just have to completely wig out and just like massacre him and then run away as fast as possible because that one like pin drop moment, you just fucked it up.
Yeah.
And everything spins out of control. Like, that happened twice in the last 2 days. One was I tried to set up a thing where you can make a giant crate fall on a guy's head by like rigging this.
It'd be cool if it was a piano.
That also happens in the game.
Awesome.
But
Sold.
it actually does.
I will. I'm going to play that now.
Yeah. You can drop a piano onto a lady wearing a bird suit.
What about a safe?
Safe, not so much.
Oh,
But no, there's
Piano
like this.
onto lady wearing a bird suit.
that is pretty
not
goddamn
enough for
good.
you?
I'm gonna buy it. Can you get it on Steam?
Yeah, you can.
I'm buying it tonight.
Yeah, so there's a
I am.
so there's like there's a lift thing with a winch that has like these wine casks sitting on it, and there's a guy who paths under it every once in a while, and you can like rig it to fall on him. And so like he was going near it, and one of the things you can do, kind of like No One Lives Forever, is you can throw coins to distract
Oh
people.
yeah, I never did that in No One Lives Forever. It was never useful to me.
Yeah, but you have infinite ones in Hitman. So
Infinite
anyway,
coins.
yeah, why
there-
do you
is
why
there
do
a-
you,
play?
is
why
there
do
a
you need to make
currency-
money if you have infinite coins?
Is there a currency system
Fucking
in that
Lido
game?
narrative,
Why don't you
fucking
just throw them
dissonance
all
right
into
here.
your
Wait, I was just
bank
gonna wait.
account?
Precisely.
Is there an actual currency system in that game where you can
Yes.
actually buy things?
Yeah.
And you can't just keep throwing coins onto the guy. Like, imagine if you're Resident Evil 4 and he's like, "Welcome, stranger. I'll buy it at a high price," or whatever. And you're just like sitting there flipping coins onto him, like in the game world. That would be sweet.
But yeah, so I tried to get the guy to.
Speaking
I tried
of
to get,
something else.
Yeah, I tried to get the guy to walk under this giant heavy thing.
Yeah.
And so I threw the coin over there, and he walked in, and I hit the button to blow up the winch, and it falls and just like whizzes like half an inch in front of his face and hits the ground in front of him. I'm just like shit.
Does
And
he
I just-
react to that?
Yeah, well, everybody reacts because there's a giant explosion.
Well, a lot of
and-
games wouldn't.
Yeah,
do it
well, he didn't like. That's a hilarious thing. Everyone else in the world reacted like the
He
guards.
just wanted that coin.
It's actually
The guards and the civilians and stuff came running, but he just like stood there as if he was like playing it off cool. He was like, "All right, that didn't happen. I'm just gonna walk away." And everybody's like, "Holy shit, what was that?" And so I tried to kill him before anyone else got there. So I just like took him down in a hail of silenced pistol fire as the wine was like spreading over the floor, and then just ditched as fast as possible.
You know what would be
it was
amazing?
Really, it's a great like you fucked up, but it's a good story
Right.
kind of game.
Well, it's good when games can deal with that because a lot of times games that rely on that end up just breaking when you fuck it up.
Right.
You know, they end up just becoming no longer games.
Yeah, I mean the intention of it is
It's sort of-
that you're supposed to get mobbed, kind of when you fuck up like that. Like everybody comes running and the guards
Yeah.
know you did it. Kind
But
of
you're the
thing.
best in that game, right?
Well,
The best there is.
you could.
you're the best.
The best around.
You're the best. Yeah, I mean, I think in that particular situation, they would have just gone to check out the winch and been like, "What's this all about?" and not known I did it, and I just kind of could have walked away.
You can hide and sort of
I don't
reset
think
the puzzle.
I don't think they even detected me in that case because I wasn't connected to the incident. Well, until I fired half a dozen bullets into this man and killed him, and everyone saw it.
Yeah.
And then I had to run away as fast as possible and jump on a seaplane.
It would be amazing if you flipped a coin at someone and then they didn't see it and they ignore it. So you're like, God damn it. So you like bring out your sniper rifle and you aim in on them. And as soon as you pull the trigger, he's like, hey, a coin. And
he
bends
ducks
down and pick it up.
down.
Like, that'd be sweet.
The
That
thing
probably
is pretty,
can't happen.
Well, the thing that's pretty sweet about it is if you throw a coin while a guy has you in his line of sight, he just kind of stares at you annoyedly. like
That's really good.
Why are you throwing this coin?
Well, like a guy has his back to you, and you like hold the coin up, and as you're about to throw it, he turns around, you let go of it, and he sees you just throw a coin like into the corner, and he's just like, "What?"
We can't see what you look like. Oh,
I know,
Steve made a face.
but that was
Yeah.
you get the implication.
Yeah.
He just kind of stares at you.
He says.
Yeah, as if he wonders what the fuck your problem is.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
Are there homeless people in that game?
What?
You throw coins
Yeah, are there
at them?
guitar cases?
Yeah. That you can flip coins into?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, what are you saying, Nick?
I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Well,
ruined it.
the thing that always amazed me about that game is that the premise, like, and the contents of it.
Are you talking specifically about Blood Money or the series generally?
Well, sort of the series, but some specific aspects of Blood Money, because that game is the most literal version of a murder simulator that exists.
Yeah.
Like, it is a murder simulator. You have to go murder people, and it's very simmy. Like, you kind of control your man in a kind of twiddly way.
You control your man.
Yeah, you have to
Control your
control
man in a
man.
twiddly
Stick by
way.
That's
Well, good thing Jack Thompson's disbarred.
I know, right?
Hey!
But he was in full swing when this game was released, and there's actually a mission in the White House where you have to assassinate the Vice President of the United States.
Christ!
It's pretty, like, no one noticed, but it's
Does he jump
one of
into
the most
a
fucked up
mech
games.
and like shoot up out of the White House?
Richard!
Yeah.
No, he pulls out his hunting shotgun and attempts to fight back, but he just wings you
there
in
you
the
go.
face.
Yeah.
No, so until Fallout 3 came out, I would say it was like my favorite game of the last 5 years, something like that. Really outstanding game.
Yeah,
Love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to play it now. That was kind of one of those series where I played the first one back when it came out, and I didn't have a good experience with it. Like, I had a hard time getting it to work, and like I just didn't get it for some reason. And then
It's got a
I
learning
just
curve,
never went.
kind of.
It's really like a complicated puzzle in a way, and like when you don't
Sort
know,
of, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you don't know the exact path.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing
there's
that's
a lot of trial and error.
I mean, the thing that's nice about Blood Money is they do have a lot softer of failure cases, where like you go into a restricted zone and guys just be like, "Hey, get out of here." Whereas in the prior games, they just open fire instantly if you like went into the back room or whatever.
Like having to start over on those levels. Like, it's weird because like you play it often enough that you sort of like get to know like the NPCs, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the enemies, like you create these like little like scenarios, like, oh, I'm gonna totally fool that like third dude, like,
Yeah.
like that guy, man. He's a crazy guy. I'm gonna get him this time. You know?
That guy always knows what I'm up to.
Yeah, right.
Not this time. I'm going to surprise him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I got a coin with his name on it.
With a knife, and then next
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
you know, like.
Well,
Doesn't that kind of sort of break it, though? I mean,
That
No,
guy's
doesn't-
probably tired of getting stabbed.
That's
I'll throw
the
a
thing is
coin.
that you can recover pretty well. Like, even if there's a horrible massacre where like guards swarm you and you kill like 6 of them, and then you run somewhere else and steal a new outfit, like people will be more suspicious over the course of the level, but you can complete it. You just did a really messy hit. And they score you on kind of how clean your hit was, and you get more money for like the metagame upgrades and stuff, but you can complete it with just being a really, really shitty hitman that kills his targets and escapes without being dead.
yeah.
I was just the suburban level, you know, the one where you start out.
A new life.
The best part about that is it's like a really.
Want to describe that real quick? Because most of us don't know.
Basically, you roll up on a street and there's just a house and there's somebody, you know, like in the house that you have to kill. So it's a very small level. But there's so much going on. Like there's so
It's
many
Macaulay Culkin.
You try to
Watch out
open
for
the
that
door,
paint can.
and it's really hot, and you burn your hand. Oh, it's hard.
And then you knife him to death. Hitman.
Lost in New York.
Hitman lost in New York.
I'm sorry, continue.
No, I was just gonna say it's great because it's
a good
small,
level.
But there's just so much going on that it's just so dense. Like,
Well,
like a million different ways to approach it.
It has an incredible, like an incredibly evocative atmosphere that almost no other game tries to pull off. Where, you know, like you can try to evoke whatever, the dingy industrial park or whatever, which many games do. But this game, like, you load in and immediately you're just like, holy shit, I've been in this suburb before. Like, it's it's obviously noon, and there's like sprinklers in the lawns that are going like, and it's
like the opening of Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy that jogs past you at the beginning of it, and he's like, "Hey, friend!" Like,
oh man!
And then you have
like
to murder
Blue
people.
Velvet.
Yeah, it's like it's. Yeah, I guess it's the juxtaposition of what you're there to do and like, how civilian of a location it is.
Probably 60 seconds. I think there's like a sniper rifle in a garage, and you can take the dude out in like 60 seconds, or you can do like the long, elaborate. Like,
well, the thing is, they have a additional complicating action where you have to get the microfilm from another character. Remember, that's pretty.
This
pretty,
is a fucked up suburban neighborhood.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, the premise, and they give this to you up front, is that it's a mob guy who's gone under witness protection, and so he started a new life, and that's why there's like
Typical.
FBI guys around and everything.
Right.
So, no, it's a great. There's
Sweet.
Do you recommend just starting with Blood Money if I haven't played through the full?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It sounds like a really great ending.
All right. Well, don't say anything about that.
It theoretically has a great ending. I think they kind of fucked it up.
They
Kind
screwed it
of,
up
which
technically,
makes me sad because it's such a great idea, and they set you up for it so well, and it's like,
I guess I should say it's a good twist, but it's not a
yeah.
So
that's what gameplay is.
No, if you haven't played it, if anyone who's listening hasn't played it, it's a game everyone should play because it's amazing.
I'll check it out. Yeah, what you were saying about sort of exploration of a small space. Have any of you guys played The Last Express?
I did when it came
I
out.
played part of it.
Yeah, well, Last Express
I had
was
to use a big ass cheat list to tell me how to
Oh,
finish
really?
it because it's a pretty hard.
I
game
played
not
it like
to
with
fail.
another guy, so we both just kind of had ideas and stuff. But
Nice.
Well, the thing is, but it goes on in real time, so you can just outright fail by like missing.
yeah,
stuff.
but there's a time rewind mechanic.
Oh, I forget. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been,
Well-
12 years since I played it.
Yeah, I wish you could.
Anyway, so, oh god, Jake. Anyway, so
And you
basically,
can rewind time
for,
in
for,
that
the,
game.
for those who don't know what this game is, it came out in 1997. It was Jordan Mechner, the guy who created Prince of Persia.
Guess it wasn't 12 years ago then.
No, it was 11. Anyway, so Jordan Mechner, the guy who made Prince of Persia and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, made this game.
Persia 2.
Yeah, he made Prince of Persia 2. And possibly Prince of Persia 3D, I don't remember.
Prince of Persia 2 was reviewed by Duncan Fife on idlethumbs.net.
Okay,
I remember it. That's a plug for our
there you go.
articles.
Our articles, they sort of exist.
There's
One
an
time we
archive.
wrote articles.
Article Kive.
Anyway, so this game is an adventure game
I'm sorry.
that takes place on the eve of World War I. Like, it's the 3 days leading up to the outbreak of World War I. And it,
You're riding the last express
you're
before
riding
the
the
war starts.
Yes, exactly. It's the Orient Express, I think.
The last.
And it takes place basically in real time. It's like real time sped up by 6, but there's no, cuts. It's just beginning to end. And
You can just sit in your room for the whole thing.
you could,
Then you
but
get there.
you'd fail. Yeah, I mean,
But I'm saying, do they have failure cases along the way? Where
Yes.
it's like, oh yeah, because you're on it illegally.
Yeah.
So if they find you,
Yeah, you can be found,
Exactly,
or like
yeah.
you can be found with the body. I mean,
Right.
There's all sorts of things.
yeah, early in the
yeah,
game
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to dispose of a body, etc.
Right, yeah,
and there's a cool time rewind mechanic where because it's in real time, just by the nature of the game, it's possible to fuck up just by not doing something properly or by doing it too late or something. And so you have this Fabergé egg that essentially rewinds time. It's not. That's purely a gameplay mechanic. It's not like Prince of Persia where it's actually happening in the game.
Magical
Yeah.
Fabergé egg.
But he ended up that time rewind mechanic was turned into a real time thing in Sands of Time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool game, and the reason I bring it up is because I guess this is also a quick plug. I did an interview with the producer and lead tech guy on that game, who I ran into at Comic-Con this year, which was really weird. And I interviewed them, and I put that up on Gamma Sutra a couple weeks ago. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the retrospective thing.
Right, and one of the things they mentioned was that Jordan Mechner was back at the time. He was always talking about how he thought such a great area of game design was exploring small spaces, where which is sort of different than a lot of the attitude that goes on now, which is exploring a very large space and trying to
Or exploring
Right.
exploring a series of
Right.
sort of broader spaces.
Right,
Yeah.
and he really liked the idea of defining a small space, in this case, a train. Like
Yeah.
you go from train car to train car and just doing it in extraordinary depth.
Yeah.
So in this game, there are people having conversations on like every car of the train. And if you're not there when they're having that conversation, you won't hear it. But presumably, if you mess something up, you can go back in time, and then maybe you will hear them that time. And if you play, if you know how to beat the game, you can beat it in, I don't know, like 6 hours or something maybe. And so it lends itself to multiple playthroughs that actually genuinely have cool different stuff happening each time.
There's been I mean, people like Warren Spector talked about the city block game, there's been that idea of having deeper interactivity over a more concentrated area, which I think is really interesting. I think it's one of the reasons that I like the Animal Crossing games. You could call them games, even though really
more like non-games are going to ruin everything.
I meant more like one game that they've added features, like one feature to each time they re-release it.
I really liked Animal Crossing, but I can't.
No, but what I like about it is you do get your little sort of whatever half mile by half mile town that is the only space you'll ever see in the game, and you're exploring what things might happen there, and you keep going back to it on like a daily basis because it's this other place. But yeah, it's very small. And they don't rely on a whole bunch of content and world building and blah blah blah. And it is more about what can happen in a concentrated area, which is it's not something that you see a whole lot of in mainstream game development.
I would like to play like an RPG that just stuck to like the hometown and didn't all of a sudden branch out.
Right. I mean, it's something that I liked about the Penumbra games.
Oh man, I just bought one of those. It's sitting over there on the floor.
Oh my god, a Penumbra?
It's like you knew.
But I like it because not because they did that, but because they introduced mechanics that basically made it so they could have done that. Like they could make a room very interesting because you're in one room and you can open all the drawers and move all the stuff and kind of like fairly fully interact with all the kind of hand scale objects in a small place. I like the potential that it implied, but they did kind of make it just sort of a corridor adventure game thing. But I would like to see a game that was like, hey, we just sort of simulated an apartment or a house or something, and you can really interact with everything that's there.
Like a Peter Molyneux demo.
Oh yeah, did you?
You can mold a chair out
you
of
guys
clay.
Saw that, right?
Yeah, right. Dickinson will write you a fucking poem about it.
There was
but then in his second presentation, Emily Dickinson will be removed, but it was the same exact demo.
At GDC in like, was that 07?
It was 06.
06. So there, every year at GDC they do a game design challenge where whoever is in charge of it, I guess it's Eric Zimmerman, picks a theme and invites three game designers to make a game based around whatever premise or concept or theme or what have you.
Generally write like a design document presentation.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of a treatment and then present it. And Peter Molyneux was in it one year, and the concept was a game about Emily Dickinson. And so Peter fucking Molyneux just took this tech demo that he like already made for GDC.
That he already presented earlier.
That he already presented, where with like sort of, I think probably most people have seen the video of this online, where you can sort of go into a mirror and then come out of a thing and like the room, and you can like build things out of clay and they turn into actual modeled objects. And he just like put Emily Dickinson words like from her poems.
You build the chair out of clay from the earlier demo where you build a chair out of clay, but then an Emily Dickinson quote that involved the word chair also comes up on the screen in italic font, and some female voice actress reads versus a male voice actress.
If you plant a seed in that room, you can come back in 50 years and it will grow into a chair that says Emily Dickinson poems. That's what he said. I think that's coming in the room too.
That was a twist that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
They would grow into a chair.
Well, it's Peter Molyneux. You never know what to expect. Right.
Agreed.
I heard his next game will win you a Nobel Prize for science.
Wait, what? It will win you a Nobel Prize?
It's amazing.
Everyone who plays it will receive a Nobel Prize.
It's pretty fucking amazing.
In the collector's edition only.
It's the Nobel Prize
comes with Nobel Prize.
Oh man, I'm looking at the Spore on your shelf and
the game Spore.
No, I've got some stuff growing there.
There's
it's gross.
Some fungus. Yeah. The Spore box on your thing. Two things about that. One, I was in Best Buy and I saw the collector's edition of Spore, and it has a really amazing box. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's like this. It's this embossed like rubber box that has like all of the little like creature silhouettes that are like carved into it. Kind of. It's a really strange treatment, but it's neat. I liked it. It's just like basically white rubber box, all these little forms that are kind of beveled into it. And also there was news today that they're going to start letting people buy little miniature 3D fabrications like Rock
Penis
Band.
Ahoy.
Yeah, like Rock Band / World of Warcraft style. You can submit your creature and then they will build it with their 3D fabricator and send it to you. And yeah, there's potential
There will
for
be
trouble.
so many dongs.
Unfortunately, they're going to try and moderate that.
What?
But
They're going to moderate
what I think would
something
be
someone
great is
buys on their
try
own to put in their home?
Sneak one through where
Yeah.
they didn't really pick up on it.
There's
you know?
potential.
Right,
There's
so-
potential for a clever goatse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about to say, you could-
that's the thing. You can,
And then you have to have it on your desk for the rest of your life.
We should
Whoops.
make one of those and then take a photo of it and put it on
Oh
Goaty.cx.
no, I spent fucking $70 on this. Oops.
Is that how much it is? $70?
Full disclosure, when the announcement for that they were doing it for Rock Band 2 came out, I knew that in the Rock Band character creator I already had, so I knew that I could make a very accurate representation of myself with Rock Band 2, and so I did. And so people like in the office or whatever who would see me playing with my Rock Band 2 avatar said it was like, man, it's creepy seeing yourself on the screen while you're like singing the song and it's voice coming out of your computer. So, and I was like, oh
Dude,
no,
their minds would be blown if you're in the movies.
and so I was like, when I saw the announcement of the little action figure thing, I was like, oh Jesus, I can have them build an action figure of myself to put on my own desk at work. And so I did, and that's awful, and it cost me $70 plus tax. Yes.
And it's,
So just imagine when it gets devoured by your huge goatsy statue that you ordered.
we should all chip in and buy a goatse statue from the Spore people.
A Goaty.cx
A Goaty.cx
statue.
statue.
Well, that was, I mean, well, I shouldn't,
you
that's
can
a bad,
you can buy that.
that's a bad seg because it's not true. That isn't what made me wonder about this. But I the thing I'm thinking is that there's a whole lot more kind of standardization between Rock Band 2 characters or WoW characters than there are between fucking Spore creatures. Like,
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who's
Right.
made dozens and dozens of Spore creatures. Some of them are fucking insane. And I really wonder how they're going to make some of the stuff that I've seen in 3D and send it to you.
Oh, they're going
Like,
to use computers.
I assumed that.
Oh.
But there's stuff with like weird, like spindly hairs coming off
Well,
it,
there's
and, like
ones.
stuff
There
that's
are
like
people
hovering.
have figured out. Yeah, people
Yeah.
have made ones where shit hovers and not even connected.
in China, that's their job. Is to like sit there and look.
Invent a hovering spore figurine.
Yeah, because all you have to do is create a creature and then not give it legs and pick it up off the ground, and then it's hovering. So I wonder if they like.
But people also make little
I don't know.
satellite things that like.
Oh, really? That
yeah,
orbit
that
around
like
them and
hover
stuff?
like
Huh.
a foot above the main creature. It's
Oh, that's crazy. No, I never saw that.
Yeah.
So I will be interested to see how they deal with some of the crazy ass possibility space of Spore creatures with their 3D fabricator.
Please make an Idle Thumbs spore figurine and put it on the internet. I want one.
Jake wants one.
I'm not awake.
Jake is going to collapse like any moment now. This guy's really dead. Yeah.
You should slug the rest of that 2 liter of Coca-Cola. Wake yourself up. Come on, buddy.
I'll slug it.
Man, I could have made some coffee.
You're not slugging it at all. You mean later?
He's just not even responding anymore. He's just sitting there.
Ears are grinding
He's
to
like
a halt.
completely sedentary at this point.
Oh, man. Anyway, I love video games.
Hey, there he is.
Hey!
Oh.
Oh, man.
Hey, he's back with us. Snappy Gamer.
You saw that I was about to do it, and then I couldn't bring myself to snap.
So I did it instead.
Snap, snap.
Oh, look at that.
That was nice.
Wow.
Snap.
Very nice snaps.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
your
impressed.
snaps. Yeah. So Nick, Nick, you were playing the iPhone SimCity, right?
Yeah.
Is that pretty rad or is it pretty dumb? Can only be one or the other.
Yeah.
This is my new grading system. I'm a snappy gamer.
It's rad.
Would you care to qualify that rad?
It's
All right, I changed my mind. You need to say more than that.
It's medium rad.
All right.
It's taking on +5 rads per second.
Hey,
Just trying to get this
Video
podcast
game
back on topic.
video jokes.
You seen the fire propagation in this shit? Holy fuck. There actually is fire propagation in SimCity. Back on topic.
There might be a monster.
I heard it's
too.
basically SimCity 3000.
Everybody says that about
Confirm,
every
deny?
SimCity port, but I
It's
don't-
basically SimCity 3000.
Is it not?
Yeah.
It's your basic SimCity.
Is it a different thing?
3000.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I haven't played it.
I guess it is. Like
Sweet.
in the same way that every SimCity.
Do you
is
remember
like the
SimCity 3000?
before, but with a few differences. Huh?
I mean, is it more like SimCity 3000 than like
Than 4000.
SimCity on the SNES
yeah.
or whatever? Like
1000.
it's more advanced, I
Yeah,
guess,
no,
than
it is. It's
because when they put it because when they made the
Because there's
DS
also
one, it was,
societies and everything.
but when they ported SimCity to DS, it was basically the SNES version, right?
I don't think that's actually true. I think they just used the graphics were more like that. I don't think the actual systems were, but I didn't
Oh,
play it.
okay. But it was like a top-down view thing. It was like you were saying, it's the graphics, but then the iPhone one is more like the isometric, like SimCity 2000, 3000 kind of
style.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's clearly a lot of.
I mean, does it work well with the iPhone inputs, whatever they do?
Yeah, it actually does. Like
hands.
Optimized for hands.
Well, they could have had a
Best played with
software
hands.
analog stick, for instance.
No,
there's a lot of different.
That
inputs.
sounds horrible.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
I heard about that on your
There's a Pac-Man game with a
podcast. You were talking about it with Brothers in Arms or whatever, Call of Duty or some like.
Oh, that's not it. Oh, I see. You mean okay? I thought you meant an actual graphical representation of a joystick because that does exist in Pac-Man on the iPhone, and it's terrible.
I thought that's what you guys were saying with the shooter.
Oh, I thought that was just you put your whole finger on the screen.
What do you
Like-
do? What are you referring to?
I'm referring
you put
to,
your
like,
finger on the
an
screen
actual-
as if you're touching a joystick, but it's just a little software joystick, like image of
This
it.
is totally retarded.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know,
It doesn't
brother.
look like a joystick. It's a dot with a circle around it.
Okay, yeah,
dots.
and I'm saying in the Pac-Man game they actually draw a joystick
Okay.
on
Okay.
the screen.
This is
It's all
important.
distinction.
This is fucking important.
Now you know.
As noted, we received Surly Jake this week.
Surly gamer.
Surly gamer. I mean, you
compete
guys are
with
dropping
Grumpy Gamer.
facts left and right about whether or not a joystick is drawn.
3,000, 2,000 joystick. Joystick 2,000, 3,000.
Virtual analog stick.
Nah, video games. Anyway, go ahead, Nick.
It's great.
Does it have a
Soft
virtual
joy.
analog stick?
Is it 3,000? Are there 3,000 analog joysticks?
No, seriously. So it's a solid SimCity experience on the handheld device that is the
that's right.
Apple Internet.
Well, are there
phone.
any? I mean,
Recommend it.
are there any things you don't like about it? Because you didn't
One
seem
thing
very
I don't like about
confident.
it is that it is a little bit slow to render when you drag around.
Oh, that's an iPhone.
It's like
It's
Google
it's
Maps.
an
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's accurate to when I played SimCity 3000 when it came out, because you would like scroll all the way to the other side of the map and just be white boxes that rendered in.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't really remember 3000. Yeah.
Stuff like that, I find myself. I have a really low tolerance for these days. I kind of feel like with the sort of devices we have,
Computers
with
should
games
know
on them-
better.
Well, no, but I mean, I'd rather the fidelity just be lower and then not have to deal with sprites not being there yet. I prefer when things just run quickly and load quickly.
I
Then
don't know. I mean, there's some degree of balancing you have to do.
Oh, I know.
You know, because it's probably mostly like,
It is a balance.
you know, like in
Gotta
all
balance
It's
it.
pretty close to being really frustrating, but it's not.
Yeah.
I can live with it.
like I wonder how far, like if it would have had to be like CGA graphics for them to get it to draw
Right.
faster, because
Yeah.
it's probably just
Yeah.
fill rate. You know?
yeah, that's
It
true.
does have a surprising amount of features. I mean, for an iPhone game, it's a pretty solid.
It's
system.
fully loaded.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
It will
to?
blow you
It will
away.
blow you away. Yeah.
Jesus. Do you have to?
IGN.com.
Do you have to put the plumbing in under the city?
Jesus,
You
it will
do
blow
have
you
to put
away.
plumbing in.
Oh.
Nobody
Manual
likes that.
plumbing, Manual plumbing, manual roads.
Oh, manual
And
roads.
manual
You-
roads.
You want manual roads.
Well, I like auto roads.
No, manual roads and trains is where it's at. Power lines, but
I like for the zone.
Plumbing,
I like
though.
Auto roads.
the plumbing stuff. That's when that series
Like
actually started to
manual
lose me, which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, no, I agree though. I
Pipes.
agree.
Power, rail, roads. I can handle that, but once I have to deal with the plumbing, please.
What?
Well,
It's
I mean,
true.
No, it is true.
Yeah,
It's just weird.
I mean, the thing
a
is that
fourth
it's-
thing that happens to be plumbing. Ridiculous.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Not
a,
exciting.
A fourth
There's
series
some-
of like
there's
pipes
something
you have to
about
run
that
around.
though that's conceptually less interesting
Yeah. Well,
than
I
building
mean,
a road.
Well, right,
The
I mean-
graphics go away. It's
Right,
like
right.
a great.
It
thing
is
with,
right.
Like
Yeah.
a pipe, and then
I know in my heart that under this city is an amazing sewer infrastructure. But like you don't get to watch the train drive around.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
I mean,
get to
it's a
watch
subway.
the poop.
That's what they subways.
Subways.
Jake presents
I made
SimCity
Subways.
5000, now with poop.
Subways were tough.
You can turn on like a
If you have a
mode
City of the
that-
Future, yeah, you can get the transparent sewer tube.
That was the
God,
Same
like
feature,
That's
transparent
gross.
sewer tubes.
that was the thing that amazed me about
Overground sewage.
the expansion for whatever SimCity 4, like just as far as banality of like bullet point features, was just like new expansion for SimCity 4. Now there's traffic jams. Like what?
Oh yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Commuting.
Mom, buy me the
Virtually.
new SimCity 4 expansion. I can figure out the traffic grid.
and then your mother
Like,
who commutes to work every day to pay for your goddamn video games. What?
it's so like it's cool in a way because it's such an like
Well, are the traffic
unappealing
jams-
feature, but that it's awesome that they just went. They're just like, we're gonna make this about
That's
traffic.
destined for a T-shirt from some ironic hipster in like 15 years.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see.
This is a stupid question because now I'm actually vaguely interested in this. Is it actually are the traffic jams actually caused by just actual poor engineering of your city's
Yeah.
infrastructure.
No, that's
So I mean, like
That's actually pretty
You
good.
could work out the light cycles and whether or
Yes.
not there's a turn lane, and that
Yes.
actually
That's
actually pretty awesome.
That's
the
fucking
feature.
hardcore. I
Like,
actually want
yeah.
to play that now.
In
That
fact-
was the expansion. It was
I-
like we have now simulated traffic, like past the point of just like, oh, there's not enough lanes near something
Right.
popular.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you actually have to time it and lay it out properly to avoid gridlock.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's really dorky, but that's kind of cool as
Exactly.
all hell.
I mean, it's
and,
cool
and
that
that's
it's
what I
there.
like
I mean,
about it.
yeah.
Like
I-
it somehow it just feel like, even though that couldn't have been released that long ago, it like from a big company, it just seems
that's
like something that's of a different era. Where
Right,
it's like,
that's the
you
sort of
can't
thing that would
really
be
make
like
an
the
expansion
like
about
Electronic Arts
traffic
box
anymore.
circa the Apple II EA
when
stuff.
they had the old
Right,
EA
yeah.
logo, the EOA thing,
Yeah.
the sort of weird goatsy
Man.
logo. But
Wait, what?
I don't think the old EA
Yeah,
logo is a goatsy.
it might have been, but anyway,
you're
one of the
seeing
things-
We're
goatsy
just
and
gonna let that one
everything.
slide, I guess.
everything to me is a goatsy.
Yeah.
No, but one of the what I want to say is that this week,
Is that like when in a cartoon when like a starving person sees someone else turn into like the ham hawk? You just look and sort of a wavy lines appear and something turns into a guy with a prolapsed anus and a ring. It's weird, and you start salivating.
Goes off. Yeah.
Right, the little sort of the sort of smoky beckoning hand emerges from it and sort of carries you away into the window.
You start floating away.
Right,
on
floating
the-
away
Yeah.
towards the
like
sort of,
horizontally, sort
Right,
of waving.
Right.
Yeah,
Your feet are higher than.
and then
than your
you're
head.
in for a
Exactly.
horrible surprise.
Well, because you-
Cartoons.
Well, it
Because you
turns
are,
out to
you
not
are
be
floating
goatsy.
face first towards
Towards a
goatsy.
goat.
oh my god, that's horrifying.
You
Ugh.
started this
I
with
didn't
your
mean to start
weird
it.
dream.
Okay.
Don't deny you were telling us about your weird goatsy dream before we started recording.
We should take a break, maybe.
Well, okay. Well, all right.
What?
I wanted to talk
He
about a
was
game that was
segging into
directly
something.
related to SimCity.
Do it.
Man, I thought you were going to say directly related to Goatsy. In which case, I was definitely going to permit it.
Someone made this awesome web game. Oh man.
Goatsy.cx, check it out.
I've got to guess
Why- we
that
gotta
someone
stop-
has done this.
Yeah, we got to stop talking about Goatsy. This
Yeah.
is retarded.
Okay. Done. Consider it done.
SimCity.
SimCity 8. No. The game I saw was called Cities XL. It's from Monte Cristo, who are the guys who made City Life, if anyone knows that.
I remember it existing. It
Yeah.
didn't get very good reviews, I think.
No, but they're making another game called Cities XL that they're hoping will sort of build on all the stuff they learned from making the last one. And obviously, I mean, it's pretty early. I think it's not coming out till next summer or something. So I didn't get hands-on or anything, but they did show me a pretty extensive real-time demo. And some of the stuff they're doing is really amazing. It's a game, it's a single-player game that you buy the game and you play it, but also they're engineering an MMO component to it that I don't think they've locked down pricing, but they're shooting for like, $5 a month or something.
City
sort of.
building MMO?
Yeah, so you all, like a server is a planet,
Mm.
and on that planet, there's like 3,000 cities, 1 to 3 of which are yours. And all those other cities exist on the planet, and you can actually build roads, like physically build roads
There is
to them.
already- There's something like this.
Oh, really? I've not
Well, I
seen
mean,
it.
It's like it's not like Transport Tycoon. There's some like free, like open source.
It's one of those
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what you
Oh.
You know
mean.
what I'm talking about? It's like
Well,
an open source railroad type.
Yeah,
but I can't-
they took Sid Meier's Railroads and open
Oh, I
sourced it
saw
and
that.
made a multiplayer version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
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 I've seen that on forums and stuff. I never played it, but yeah, it
I've
sounds
never played it,
interesting.
but it's sort of like that. Really.
So yeah, and it's cool, and you can only basically trade with people who you have some kind of trade route with. So if someone's on another continent, you can actually you build a port and you can actually sail, set up a trade route across the sea
Yeah.
to them, and there's a whole offline component that plugs into Facebook and MySpace, or you can just do it via their website where you just have this plug-in and you can just trade with other people even if you're not playing the game. You can sort of on a daily basis, it'll just update all your production rates and stuff, and it goes indefinite, just in real time, 24 hours a day. And you can trade resources and set up alliances with people and contribute to build things like the Olympics or like a Statue of Liberty type thing, stuff like that.
Wonders.
And then, yeah,
sort of?
you've got to lobby to get them to be put in your own city, even though you're all contributing to it, stuff like that. It's pretty impressive, and I guess eventually they're going to try to connect different planets with spaceport, like Cape Canaveral and stuff.
So you saw this in action, or you?
I saw the world, just the planet part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the space thing is something that they're.
Well, no, but I mean, you saw the
longer-
game. You
Yeah.
played the game.
No, they
Okay,
brought it in
cool.
on a laptop. Yeah.
I see.
And
Did they have it networked? Did you see how it interacted with other people or whatever, or did you?
they were online, but I mean, there's no way to prove it was a real
Well,
thing. But yeah.
I'm not asking for
It was a
proof. I'm saying,
pre-taped.
I'm
And
saying, did you see communication between cities happen? Or,
Yeah, and they
was
also
it
showed
cool
me
or
the
whatever?
online thing on the web and stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
It was cool. It was really interesting, and it's the kind of thing where it's just like the scale of this game is also insane. Like this may be what that whole genre is like these days. I don't know because I haven't kept up with it so much, but I mean it's just amazing. It's got the whole thing that's sort of in vogue in PC games these days, where you scroll all the way in, you see the little cars driving around,
like the mouse wheel kind of thing.
Yeah, you scroll out all the way up and all the way up, and suddenly you see this. What it looks like when you're in an airplane looking down,
right? And
you see just sort of the broad zoned areas and irrigation and stuff, and it's just stuff like that is impressive.
Is it like a modern city or what?
Yeah, it's a modern city.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all modern. Yeah.
Huh.
And
is it like realistic? Like it's supposed to be like our world, or is it like fanciful?
No, it's our world. It's sort of modern day, and so it's different, like sort of Arctic locations. And
I can see why this would make you think of that, because it does, like conceptually, it sounds kind of dry and sort of like it doesn't sound like it has enormous mass appeal, because it's not like smash an orc's brain with your hammer. It's like
exactly,
manage your economy nicely in the real world, but like the actual set of interactions you're doing in the network of sort of ongoing communication and whatnot sounds really interesting. It sounds cool. It just sounds like, unfortunately, it might be a hard sell. It's not super.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche. It's definitely
But it seems like you feel like it has a bigger.
Connected up to EVE Online.
But you can fly spaceships and shoot lasers in EVE Online.
That's just all the pictures on the box.
Yeah.
There's a dude like killing an orc, like he's in hell with a crucifix slamming into a goblin's face, and then you get into the game and you're like, what? There's a traffic jam.
Well, that's actually just a fold-out box where it's revealed to be a magazine and a newsstand.
Cool, my guy subscribed to EGM.
But it sounds like you're describing it as being sort of a larger scope than you would expect from
it's
sort
just
of
a really,
niche game,
really sort of amazingly big scope. Yeah,
I could see it. It sounds like it might weirdly be popular in Europe.
Not weirdly at all. In fact, where it will be popular. Yeah.
Well, I know, but I mean, what about that makes it seem like Europe will like it? I wonder, because I don't have any real rationale for
sort
that.
of empirical knowledge that's the kind of thing that. So I mean,
being completely prejudiced.
PC games already sell better in Europe across the board, and then. Also, for some reason, that whole like anything simulation like seems to do better in Europe. That just, I mean, most of the people who are left who do like hardcore flight sims, who do sort of any sort of hardcore sim, like most of them are in Europe. That stuff
or are in America and have a beard.
I guess.
Does most like city building and stuff come out of Europe these days?
I think other
most
than like
cities are
like Tilted Mill, I think so. Yeah. Everyone's nodding at each other. You guys can't see any of this at all.
I was shaking my head, but Jake was nodding. And Nick is drawing circles with his nose.
Yeah. So anyway, I think these guys are going into beta in like early next year. So
I thought you were going to say, I thought you were saying like,
dudes,
I think these guys are going insane from
old Scoops here and Brecken are going into beta.
Brecken.
Jesus.
No, but they have a website. You can go to it.
What is their website?
I think it's citiesxl.com, but if you search Google for CitiesXL, you'll find it.
Okay.
So anyway, let's take a break.
Boo! Ha I don't
That's all.
We're still them at the Olympic Games.
Wait, it's using the gameplay mechanics from the Olympic Games when you're fighting the Rift Lord.
So you've got like the track segment,
right?
Thing? Like,
exactly.
Well, we were basically like it was the idea of that's what Sonic Team would do with it,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonic would go Super Saiyan and win the fucking hammer toss.
Yeah, I mean, against the Gates Lord or something.
Surely that happens in that game. Like, I'd be amazed if it didn't.
I mean, it's basically the subspace emissary from Smash Brothers Brawl.
And now they're making Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah. From Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Even?
Well, the thing is that Sonic's not just about running fast.
What?
We want to prove to people that Sonic's not just about running fast.
Guitar Hero's not just about guitars.
They proved that. Holy shit! I was at Best Buy, and it was like a Guitar Hero World Tour warehouse.
Yeah.
that happened to be selling camcorders. Like it was amazing.
Where'd they get the camcorders?
I seriously went in there. Like I went in there with my girlfriend, and she was looking for a second Rock Band 2 guitar to get to me so we could play it together. But anyway, so ironically, she went in looking for, I want a wireless Rock Band 2 guitar. And like the employees were like digging through piles of Guitar Hero World Tour to see if they had one, and it was just like market saturation to the mat. It was just like carpet bombing of don't buy our competitor's product because you can't find it underneath all our boxes.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
I think Sony employed that tactic with the PS3. Oh, sorry.
You were in love with that. Your own comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite comment.
You made such an excited face, like as it was still coming out. Like,
Assassinated? Oh, what?
What's
going on?
What? What are you talking about, Steve?
No one knows what I'm talking about.
Ray
They
gun?
can't even tell it's me because they can't see me.
I
Could be an
can.
impersonator.
All right, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's how radio works. You have to take your word for it.
this is radio.
We're on the radio.
Radio web.
Welcome to Radio Idle Thumbs.
Rib. Whoa! And a duck call is also present.
That's awful.
Yeah. So you were saying you saw a thing about a blog and then you
yeah.
blogged about it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
on the blogosphere?
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know what it was,
No, it
so
was-
I have no way to describe it.
No, it was it was like a fractal of blog activity. Yes.
I heard in Braid you can turn back time. So
Was that both of us being executed
That
as
was
we
just Chris
deserved?
being shot twice in the
Oh,
head.
okay, all right.
this is radio. You have to take our word for it.
That's the new
I am the
item.
sound effects man.
How do they know? Maybe they're real sounds.
Yeah, so you had a story?
There's actually a duck here. I kind of did. No, when we were talking about before the break, when we were talking about like
City games?
yeah, and specifically like the weird sort of out of its time traffic jam expansion for SimCity and everything. I somehow came across the blog of this guy Eric Kaltman, who is a grad student at Stanford. And currently, his job is basically to catalog the Stanford Library's video game like collection, because the primary donor of it was this one guy who was like a software engineer and kind of entrepreneur who started his own businesses and stuff in like the 80s and early 90s, and he collected, I think he said like 15,000 pieces of video game software from that era and
Jeez.
like hardware to play all of it on and everything. And then he had some kind of disease and died at a young age and donated, because he was a Stanford graduate himself, and so he donated his stuff. And so the library has this enormous, stockpile of all these games from 20, 30 years ago. And so Eric Kaltman, the student who's cataloging, is blogging about stuff he finds in there and kind of like interesting things. And one of the posts that he made that I found really, really cool was this post about
Jake is touching Nick for some reason.
yeah, it distracted me.
Sorry, he was pulling on the microphone cord, and I was afraid.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
You were.
Don't do that.
You were yanking on
Hopefully
it.
this
Stop.
recording's still working. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so
I wasn't touching Nick.
there was this post about basically how in the early 80s there were all these weird, like very dry technical sim games that were about esoteric topics that were sort of like training simulations, but they sold them as entertainment software on like the Atari 800 and shit. And it was like it was like nuclear plant operator and like air traffic controller, and
Nice.
it was literally like basically the software you would use to monitor a nuclear reactor. And it,
Not plugged into.
oh yeah, no, one of the one thing it was actually called.
It actually is.
It was actually called
through your serial port.
It was called 3 Mile
A
Island.
null modem cable.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty extreme.
Yeah, and it was released like the year after 3 Mile Island occurred, and
Wow.
the challenge was monitor this nuclear reactor and make it not melt down. And yeah, so he had this whole list of these different games that actually that one I think and other ones were designed by Chris Crawford, who
Oh, yeah, that completely seems like a thing Chris Crawford would
yeah he oh yeah, and he did this one that was all about about yes, it was all about Morse code. Learn Morse
exciting.
code at home on your Atari 800. It was about like
You're
like,
a nuclear operator who has to communicate purely in Morse code.
it was about like environmental policy. Like you had to guide in worldwide environmental policy to make the environment be sustainable. It's like it had an image of like politicians in front of a globe on the box, and
So it wasn't like Africa, the PS3 game. It was
not at all. It was like
Did you have
control
to, like,
the carbon
form-
emissions in Europe to make sure that the world
Could you
temperature
pass,
does not
like-
increase.
could you bust out like filibusters and stuff in Congress and
I didn't read too much about the very specifics of it, but yeah, it was like this time. I mean, all the way up to now, sort of games have. Like developers have been trying to figure out what'll sell consistently, you know?
Yeah.
And it was totally of a time when it was like, what are video games? Maybe people want to learn how to run a train station.
Yeah.
Let's see, you know?
Oh, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, that one guy did.
Yeah.
enough dudes in Europe did that we still get, Train
Cities
Station
XL.
Simulator 2008.
Yeah. No, but
I
just
watched a ship
yeah, it
simulator
was.
trip.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the craziest
Isn't it awesome?
trailer.
Yeah.
It was like the most
Extremes.
epic, weird. Yeah, it was called what? Ship Simulator 2009 Extremes
Yeah.
or 2010 Extremes.
Yeah, it was 2010.
And it's
Whoa.
called
That's
Extremes
pretty
with an
skipped a
S
fucking year.
with an S on the end.
Extremes.
Yeah,
Wow.
They've taken it to extremes.
yeah, they have. And it was a crazy trailer. The whole thing is like slow motion. It's obviously because it's boats, but like it's like big ships. But the music that plays makes you think that regardless of what game it was, it would have been in slow motion. They just got lucky that this one already is in slow motion.
It's actually real time. It's not slow motion.
Yeah. It just means the motion itself is slow, and like there's boats, and there's this crazy like I don't even know what it was. Was it flute or like some woman like
Yeah, it was,
sort of
it was like it was a woman. It was like
Like a
of
woman
swimming-
playing the flute.
like in the background this crazy weird like you're watching a Japanese horror movie music or something
Yeah,
like
that's
also and there's like a ship sailing across and like it was really weird.
So what was the actual gameplay? It was like
It's a
you were
ship
controlling
simulator.
the locks on the Panama
They
Canal.
didn't show any gameplay. All
That's
they-
what
they
that's
only-
what would have been one of the games I saw on the Atari. It would have been like, do you raise the level of water in the Panama Canal or lower it? It's all up to you. But it was like a barge.
No, it's
Pilot
ships,
a
big-
barge.
Well, I
Yep.
mean, all different types of ships.
yeah.
And
They got all kinds.
I'm sure they do. Well, I remember back when I was at Shack News, I often updated the game database, and I was pretty stringent about it. Like I would put literally every single game that came out every week, and a lot of times that would include just these weird ass things like Ship Simulator 2006, and I'd upload a bunch of shots of that, and then it would just literally just be a bunch of
It
ships.
blows your mind how much stuff like that is still made.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
I mean,
I'm talking about. Yeah.
that's- I love stuff like that because I just can't imagine. I don't know how that stuff actually gets made and released.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
who are
like,
the people
Right,
whose
like,
job
well,
that
where
is.
Yeah.
10 people might go into an office every day and work
Yeah.
on Ship
Yeah.
Simulator.
But I'm not trying to be derogatory in the
No,
least
I know what
at
you
all
mean.
because
Yeah.
I'll open up Steam and there will be like some weird like Eastern European sci-fi first-person shooter that sort of looks like that maybe looks kind of okay.
Yeah.
You
And
can
you've
shoot
never
some
heard of it,
bands
and
in
it
that,
just
and it's
somehow
like what? How did this end up on Steam?
Yeah.
Like there's people everywhere making video games you never heard of. It's interesting
It's
and
crazy,
like
yeah.
if you played them,
Did you guys ever play
you'd
that
probably be
Bus
happy with them.
Simulator
But
No, what?
Oh, it was actually a good game. I can't,
Really?
I wish I could
oh no, I
remember.
remember seeing about it on the internet.
Yeah. I think it was just called Bus Simulator.
Yeah.
You just drove a bus around and
You tried to like
It's
keep your schedule, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to keep your schedule, and you had to like pull up on the curb at the the right spot. But it was weird because
Is it like Crazy Taxi?
no, it's not.
Oh,
like
was
that
it
at
a,
all.
was it a kneeling bus?
Caution.
What?
Caution.
Why does that
Kneeling
make a
bus.
difference?
Because they're way more awesome. They kneel.
There's a
It
dude
mean-
like with a wheelchair that needs to be like
Right.
on?
It means
And
that the
it's
whole
just-
bus lowers.
It's just
so, like,
convenient to
wheelchairs
get
on.
up on when it's on the you just step up off the curb. It's not even you don't even have to walk.
So don't
It's
put
great.
your foot under it.
Variety.
But yeah, no,
That's true.
that,
Might squish your foot.
that sounded like
Is that in the game?
one of like that weird concept that goes along with the whole like nuclear power
Yeah.
moderator guy, where it's like drive a bus and keep the schedule, but it's not like Crazy Taxi at all. It's like really being a bus driver. Check it out. Like, it's pretty cool that people want to do that kind of stuff and actually produce it. And you can just be like, what is being a bus driver like?
Yeah.
It's sort of
It's like
hard.
this.
Lets you turn the radio on really
Yeah,
early in the
stop,
morning,
walk,
but then a
come
customer complains around
Man,
commute
I
time.
got on the bus one morning going to work, and the guy, it was really late, and the driver was being trained, and his supervisor or boss or whoever was sitting on the first seat, in the bus, just berating him the entire time for sucking so bad at driving this bus. Like, it seemed fine to me. Like, I had no conception of what this guy was doing wrong. It seemed like every other bus ride I've taken.
Camp.
Yeah,
he was breaking him down before he could build him up.
She was just like busting his balls. Like there's a part on this route where it's on a street, and for some reason it's a one-way street, and they have to turn right, but the bus always is in the far left lane, so they have to cut across the entire street. I don't know why. That's just how this route goes. It makes no sense to me. And so this guy does this, and he like goes too far in the intersection and has to make a really tight turn, and she's just like, "Oh, now you've done it. Now look what you've done. These people are not getting to work on time." And he's like, "I'm sorry." Like, it was really crazy.
So who's publishing that game?
Electronic Arts. Yeah. It's EA Partners.
Oh, cool.
There, yeah.
Partnering with Muni.
Beware.
So that guy should have played Bus Simulator, I
People
guess.
from outside of San Francisco will not know what you're talking about.
The San Francisco Municipal Railway.
Oh, it's actually
bus.
buses. Yeah.
And buses. Well, yes.
Yeah.
They branched out after the automobile was invented.
I remember that.
You were there.
I was totally there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This is real.
You guys want to read a mail?
I can read a mail, yeah.
What kind of mail?
A reader mail.
A mail
Submitted
from a
you,
reader.
the readers.
So this was
The
pretty
readers
cool,
of our
actually.
podcast. I still love it.
Didn't you want to say something, or something you didn't want?
I had
to
a
say?
story that this might get edited out.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I was a...
Definitely getting
Deleted.
edited out. Goodbye. Don't want to hear about it.
There was a...
Uh-oh. What's he gonna say next?
there was a dude who like managed
What kind of dude?
to manage all our servers and stuff for the
Yeah.
school. And
What did he look like?
he was black. That's relevant. That's relevant.
You're going to have to retell this story.
That's relevant to the story. That's the only reason I bring it up. And so I was like one of his assistant guys because I could like instead of taking like art or something, I like
Instead of PE, I ran the computer lab. I did that.
oh well, this was instead of art class, I think. And
Even more sad.
sorry, I took art the next year. It was okay.
Oh, all right.
That was a really horrible class though. But anyway, so
What is this story?
so anyway, so there's this dude. He managed the servers. They were like big, crazy, big ass boxes. And
with computer parts in them?
Computer parts in them.
Hmm.
And he was a pretty cool guy, and like he was sort of just a lot of goofing around basically for a class period. And another dude joined, so it was two of us in this class basically. I remember at one point the other guy was like installing a hard drive or something. And he was like, "I'm going to set this one up as a slave drive to the master." Oh, no. And the administrator guy just looked at him and he's like, "What?" And the guy's like, "Well, that's what it's called. It's like master and slave." And the guy's like, "Please just say client and server." And he was so exasperated and like so like immediately.
Man.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Wow.
And bad. So I don't know if the story is going to stay in the podcast, but that happened in my high school.
I think you've told me that story before. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
possible,
Not on
yeah.
a public recording.
it turned out to be a legitimately interesting story.
There you go. So anyway,
Oh, by the way, who is publishing that game?
Electronic Arts.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really branching out this year.
Who's publishing Master Drive, Slave Drive?
I'm just saying that every time a story that has absolutely nothing to do with video games at all is talked about for 5 minutes.
Good one. Yeah. So, anyway, so I guess we can move on to some reader mail. On that note. Whoa. Listen to Hot Scoops here.
I'm trying not to.
We have replaced Steve with Dr. Spatzo laughing.
Who's that?
You never
He's
used
the
Dr.
Sound Blaster
Spatzo?
driven Eliza clone.
That was like from old. That was like old
Yeah.
Spatzo.
I guess I
probably
remember.
talked about
No,
Dr.
I was
Spatzo before.
attempting not to spit my mouthful of coffee all over this expensive recording equipment.
Well, I
so
appreciate it.
had to laugh weirdly.
Well, thank you. I'm in
The
support.
one cure.
So you want to do some reader mail?
Yeah, we could do that. I think it's being published by Electronic Arts.
I've got this story. I don't
Sweet.
What? No.
All right. So Rich Allen
Wow.
writes.
That's all going to get cut out.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Rich Allen writes, "You guys are doing okay. So this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
He said, he just starts off saying we're cool. Basically, he says,
That's the best part.
The part I like about it. No, he says, you guys are doing terrific work. I feel the manner in which you relate your gaming experience resonates with me much more than anything I've ever heard or read.
Wow.
It's the type of commentary on games that I've only found previously through a very select group of friends and family. So that's cool. And then the part that I think is really interesting, he goes on to say, mention Retrograde, which is the weird backwards rhythm shooter that I talked about last episode that I really thought was cool.
Yeah.
And he's saying, Chris gave a description of the game Retrograde. As he described the game, I couldn't help but think of the beautiful passage from Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-5, in which Billy Pilgrim, who's the protagonist of that novel, describes watching war in reverse. Being the inquisitive person I am, I must know if Vonnegut was an inspiration in making the game. If so, what an incredibly imaginative way to realize the scene from the book. If not, amazingly creative in its own right anyway. Any chance you guys might be able to find out some hot scoops that would validate or invalidate my thoughts?
Jesus.
And then
he
reprints the passage from the book, and actually, which is it's a fantastic book. And I actually, after he sent me that email, I felt stupid for not making that, because it's really is a really cool connection. I think the reason I didn't think about it because this game is so lighthearted in comparison to sort of that passage from Vonnegut. But I would recommend, just on a non-video game note, I would.
Video games you don't really ever.
Yeah, you don't often, which is sad.
Except video games where time is reversed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a really cool observation on this guy's part, and you guys should read Slaughterhouse-5. It's probably one of my favorite novels ever. So
no, I've never read it.
It's really good. Anyway, so after he sent me that, I went and tracked down the guy who made Retrograde and sent him an email.
Nice.
And I asked him if that was the inspiration. It turns out it wasn't, but it was. The guy responded to me really quickly, so I figured I would just read back his thing. Well, first of all, he just says, I'm glad you like Retrograde. We have big plans for it and are working on some more gameplay innovations presently. Then he says, it's interesting that someone mentioned Slaughterhouse-5. I absolutely love that book. It's one of my favorites. I definitely consider it an honor to be compared to such an amazing work. Although I have to say we aspired to parallel I'd love to say we aspired to parallel that novel, but the genesis of the game was a lot less ambitious. And he goes on to sort of explain where they come from. He said they founded this game and they were working on a totally different game idea. Then they started adding a sort of simple time reversal thing for debugging purposes, which is really interesting. Like for tuning gameplay and things, so they could repeat certain sections like really easily in real time, which is fascinating. And then one of his coworkers, the name of their team is 24 Karat Games. So one of his coworkers there mentioned it would be cool to somehow work that into the game so you could actually play the game in reverse, but they couldn't figure out any way to make that work into the constraints of the game design they were currently using. So then after sort of prototyping a previous idea, he says it became apparent that the game wouldn't work or wouldn't appeal to much of an audience outside the development team. So they made the decision to start a new project. And then later on, they were looking at other games they saw, looking for opportunities to create sort of new things and interesting ideas. And he just thought of that idea that they had sort of tossed around and of playing an entire game in reverse. And eventually, when they were trying to think of making it work, the reason he was trying to say, how do we make this something that is actually graspable instead of just completely overwhelming and disorienting? And that's how they came up with the idea of a rhythm game, because it proceeds at a very fixed rate where there's constantly a timeline that's very visual and easy to understand. And
I nodded in collusion with that.
Steve approves of that design choice. And
I
so
understood what you were trying to say.
And so he says, after some additional thought, it seemed like in order to make a game like that work, a series of constraints would have to be introduced to make it possible to repeat predetermined actions. And so, anyway, that's how they do it. And then he goes on to say, in response to one of my comments on the podcast, they do, in fact, already support guitars on the PC. It's tested and working with the Xbox 360 Rock Band 1 controller and should also work with any other guitar controllers, as long as you have the drivers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And
I want to play that.
It's really cool. He also confirms the sound effects are indeed supposed to be in reverse. He says obviously lasers don't sound too much different, but the explosions are reverse. So yeah, that was really cool that those two guys sent these emails, because that was really fascinating to me. Both of those emails.
Great.
Yeah. And so thank you to Rich Allen for the original email, and then Matt Gilgenbach, who's the co-founder of 24 Karat Games, and I think the designer on Retrograde.
Cool. Yeah,
So
I want
awesome.
to play that and Minotaur China Shop you were talking about.
Man, we've talked about a lot of indie games in the last couple podcasts. PC games.
Well, you were an IGF judge, so that's part of it.
That's true.
Extenuating circumstances.
Indeed. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we can wrap this one up.
Yep.
Unless you guys have anything else?
No.
Cool. All right. Well, we are going to attempt the daunting task of recording an entirely new podcast right now, which you guys will hear next week.
You don't have to admit
I'm just warning them.
Spoiler warning.
So that when it sucks, they will be like, oh, I remember. They said last week they were going to shit that out of their ass.
That is why we missed the blimp exploding over New York.
Yeah. In case, like, this is now 2 weeks. You are now hearing us speak like 2 weeks in the past at this point. So
this is a time capsule of epic proportions.
If any major world events have occurred that
we're
drastically
probably
affect
dead.
Video games or the lives of humanity, then
this will actually be our stupid audio log that you get to listen to while wandering around a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
You always wondered why in every video game there's dudes recording themselves
It'll be
all
so
over the place.
poignant
Now
after the fact. We don't even know right now.
Yeah, that'll be
that.
built in. We don't even have to say anything meaningful. It'll just become
that
resonant.
implies that does imply like a possibly clever postmodern setting for a video game where it's like a super media obsessed culture is like the fiction where everybody's always recording themselves and releasing it on the internet so everyone else can listen to it. And yeah, you go.
That
around,
is not too different from what how the world works right now.
Yeah, but you go around like the blasted, destroyed version of it, and you like plug your thumb drive into their computers to get their stupid like mini podcast.
Obsessive, self-revolving.
Yeah, you get their bullshit MySpace party photos. Like, oh, sweet.
That's actually what Dante's Inferno, I think, is.
God, it's too bad that game.
Hell
seems
is
to
endless
be such
MySpace photos.
Yeah.
The sixth circle.
I do always think
the music that plays behind web pages when you click on them.
The little dancing, poorly cut out skeleton gif of the dude sort of just like goofing around.
Oh, it might be flipping horizontally.
Yeah. Man, off what you said though, Steve, I one of the things I do really enjoy just generally is thinking about sort of game mechanics that are really accepted, sort of translating them into more literal versions of what they are, sort of, or even more than that, I guess, extrapolating out to sort of what the implications of this would actually be.
Is it next week yet? Right now?
No.
No.
Okay.
More next week.
Video game.